Hello, everyone, and welcome back to True Crime PhD. Today, we are exploring a breakthrough in the Madeline Soto case. So we have the DNA results, and evidence has surfaced, which is shedding light on the key details surrounding her tragic unaliving. So what does this mean for her case? Basically, this means that we are going to get an idea of what occurred to Madeline Soto that unfortunate night or morning. Okay, so the first document that we have to look at here is the pertaining to the subpoena. So I'm going to read you each individual part here. This is from, it says it's from the Department of Law Enforcement, J. Mark Class Commissioner, Interim Chief Robert, and I know I'm going to say this wrong, I'm sure, and Zudo. He is with the Kissimmee Police Department, 8 North Stewart Avenue, and that's in Kissimmee, Florida. And this is Attention Mark Morris. And has our agency number here. And of course, it says Carol Greenwell, which is the, if I'm not mistaken, Karen Greenwell is, she is the individual who did the DNA findings, but we will, we'll dive into this a little bit and see exactly who she is. Okay, so this is going to, in addition, let me just tell you guys right now that you're going to see some redactions. That redactions is where they have redacted Madeline or the victim's name out, okay? And this is the FDLE laboratory report is what we're going to be going over today. This page says reference. This report references evidence submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement on June 5th, 2024 by Rita Taverza. Not sure. This report contains conclusions, opinions, and or interpretations made by the author. Okay, and this is the evidence page. The following evidence container A was submitted for Y-STR DNA analysis. FDLE, item number, agency, exhibit number, description, DNA extracts from items 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.1, 8.2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and corresponding extraction blanks. Okay, so the following evidence, container A. What was container A? It was submitted for Y-STR DNA analysis. So what is Y-STR DNA analysis? And if I say those wrong, I apologize. Here and there, sometimes I will get them mixed up with the letters, and just bear with me. I apologize. So the Y-STR is the male, is just all in a, as a whole, it is the male profile, which would be Stephen Stearns. Okay, so Stephen Stearns' male profile would be the following evidence in container A. Okay, and they are going to be extracting DNA from these number of items, okay, and they are going to analyze the two, okay. This is the results, page 1 of 2, item 3 buccal swabs represented as being from Stephen Stearns. A complete Y-STR DNA profile was obtained from item 3. Item 6, which is the left fingernail clippings, represented as being from no Y-STR DNA results, were obtained from item 6. So, just a small concept of what this means. This could mean that, maybe she didn't get the opportunity to fight back. Maybe she didn't get the opportunity to struggle or, have an altercation with Mr. Stearns. Because a lot of times your victims are going to have DNA under their nails. And even though this is the left fingernail, So a lot of times they have that DNA under their nails because they are struggling, they are fighting back. So this could very well mean that that Madeline didn't get the opportunity to struggle or fight back. That could be because maybe he had overly medicated her, what have you. There's a lot of different instances that could be relatively reason for not struggling, but we don't know that she didn't. But this kind of is an indicator that, she didn't. Our next paper is the evidence, the FDLE agency. The item numbers, which are a little bit different. And then we have our exhibit numbers, description. And also want to thank Plunder True Crime because I have got this document from her. So bless her heart. She's a blessing for giving us that. And I believe that she got it from the docket. So if we could just all work together, it would be great, wouldn't it? So thank you, Plunder True Crime. I got to give her credit where credit is due. Absolutely. Okay, so item number 3 is the buccal swab represented as being from Stephen Stearns. Number 4 is the penile swab represented as being from Stephen Stearns. Now, these others will be redacted, and they're going to be referencing the victim. Item number 5 is going to be the DNA card represented as being from the victim. Number 6 is the left fingernail clippings represented as being from the victim. Number 7 is the right fingernail clippings represented as being from the victim. Number 8 is going to be the neck swabs represented from the victim. Number 8.1 is going to be the left neck swabs. 8.2 is going to be the right neck swabs. And these all are going to be from the victim that I'm listing here. Number 9 is going to be the right hand swabs represented by the victim. Number 10 is left hand swabs. Number 11 is the rectal swabs. Number 12 is going to be the vaginal swabs. And then you can't see it there because I kind of have it flubby dubbed. Number 12 is going to be the hair. And number 12.1 is going to be the breast swabs. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the rest of the DNA report. Okay, this is the rest of our DNA results. This is item 10, which is the left-hand swab represented as being from, and that's going to be our victim. Due to the limited nature of the Y-STR DNA, results obtained from item 10, this data is not interpretable. Item 13, which was the breast swabs represented as being from the victim, a complete Y-STR DNA profile was obtained from item 13. The Y-STR DNA profile from Stephen Stearns, which was item 3, matches the Y-STR DNA profile obtained from item 13. So what that is saying is that Stephen Stearns' DNA was on Madeline Soto's chest, breast area. Okay? According to the YHRD assessed on 8/19/2024, this Y-STR DNA profile is found in 0 of 29,207 total Y-filer haplotypes. I'm assuming, I don't know if I got that right. By applying a 95% upper bound confidence interval, it is equivalent to approximately 1 in every 9,750 male individuals. According to the YHRD assessed on 8/19/2025, this Y-STR DNA is found on 0 of 13,228 total. Okay, now before we get into reading this document, I want you guys to understand how important this is, and the reason being is that you need to know these things if you're going to continue to do, or if you really enjoy true crime, because it puts connections and sense to everything whenever you're doing DNA, okay? And this is not to confuse you. Now, this is going to be something that you might be familiar with because of the Kohlberger case. This is something that they utilized, and you will know how here soon. So this report is a CODIS combined DNA index system. It's a lab report. It's a reaction STR short tandem repeat. It is a Y-STR male-specific short tandem repeat by Afici CN Ramirez charts. That's the individual who done it. I know the name is probably completely wrong, but okay, so a Y-STR profile refers to a DNA profile generated from the Y chromosome short tandem repeat, Y-STRs. Now, before you are just like, okay, I don't want to hear this anymore, it gets easier. So just listen and you'll understand it a little bit better. Maybe. You should. And you need to know it anyway because of the Kohlberger case, and there's other important cases. Okay, so these are specific regions on the Y chromosome that contain repeating sequences of DNA. Okay, so since the Y chromosome is passed directly from the father to the son with little variation, the Y-STR profiling is particularly useful for tracing paternal lineage, identifying male individuals in forensic investigations, which is like in assaults and so forth. Now, while Y-STR profiles can confirm male lineage, they cannot uniquely identify an individual within a family, since all paternal relatives will have identical Y-STR profiles. Now, let me tell you why this is important to this case. In cases like Madeline Soto's, a Y-STR profile might be used to identify or exclude a male individual connected to a key evidence. Okay, so now that we know that, and remember, it's a Y-STR profile might be used to identify or exclude male individuals connected to a key evidence that you are needing to know in the case, okay? Now, remarks. The PCR database Y-STR DNA analysis was performed on samples from items 3, 6, 10, and 13 utilizing the Y-Filer plus PCR amplification system. No testing was performed on the remaining DNA extracts. We don't know why. It could be they're utilizing it for something else. Maybe it may come back out on trial. I'm not sure. The values were calculated following the suggestion of the Scientific Working Group on DNA Analysis. Methods by counting method of all Y-Filer plus or Y-Filer profiles listed when the YHRD, United States National Database, it's what that means, YHRD, okay, with subpopulation, 2014 SWGDAM compliant, and the normal approximation 95% upper bound confidence interval. Y-STR profiles are inherited paternally with the exception of a mutational event. Individuals from the same male lineage can be expected to share the same Y-STR profile. It is also possible that unrelated males may share the same Y-STR profile. Okay, so that is I know that it's kind of complicated, but the more that you begin to learn this stuff, the more it becomes a little bit easier. And it's important when you do true crime because as you can see, Kohlberger case, this case, it's utilized quite often.